Hey guys, and welcome to the part 2 of our Corona Essentials Render Elements tutorial. So, picking up where we left off in a previous part, in this part I have already all of the render elements as well as our beauty paths rendered, and now I'm going to show you how you can use Photoshop to compose them together correctly. So I will begin with the first one. Just drag and drop it, read alpha as alpha channel, not as transparency. Once I do that, as you can see, I have my first render element and I can just start dropping the other ones, and it will remember the choice. So if you hit render once, it will go to the placement. If you hit it second time, it will place the picture right over it, so you can just keep adding all of the other render elements and just quickly tapping enter key 2 times to set the alpha channel and to place them. And I've imported all of the Corona Essential render passes as well as our mask. I will hide the mask for now. You can see it's black because some of our render elements are black, but I will still show composing of all of them in case you had some volumetrics or some emission in your scene as well. So let's just now select all of the render elements except our bottom one, and let's set mode to linear dodge add. And once we do that, and if we drop in our beauty pass, you can see we are getting exactly the same result with our beauty pass as we are getting from our render element composition. The issue with the Photoshop and the reason why Photoshop is not the best software for render element compositing is that its feature set is really limited if you are working in the 32-bit color space. So as you can see, most of my adjustments are let's select this one, are disabled. You have really limited set of the things you can do. For example, you cannot even use reduce noise filter in 32 bits per pixel, or I don't know, filter gallery and things like that. So if we now just try to change the color space to something lower, like 16 bits per channel, where Photoshop already allows you to use most of its feature set. If we do that and select don't merge, you can see it immediately messes up all the render passes and it doesn't look like our beauty pass anymore. To preserve correct math behind the composing of our render elements, we always need to keep it linear 32-bit color space. At the same time, Photoshop has a very limited feature set, but I'm still going to show you the things you can do before you have to collapse those render elements and work with the collapsed image. So for example, I'm going to show our masks. I'm going to select the green channel by control clicking it. I'm going to deselect it. I'm going to go to reflection, which is here, and I'm going to create exposure adjustment. I'm going to alt click between those two layers, so I bind the exposure only to the layer under it. And now I can use exposure and make adjust only reflection of this metal bridge, so that it looks maybe a little bit more shiny, and I'm affecting only the reflection. I'm keeping diffuse and all the components intact. So let's make it a little bit more shiny. I can go back to our masks. I can select maybe blue channel, disable the mask, go to translucency, again create an exposure adjustment, bind it to the translucency pass, and now if I change the exposure of the translucency, I can selectively adjust how translucent are the material on the trees. So I'm not touching diffuse, I'm not touching reflection, I'm messing just with translucency. So let's make them maybe a little bit more translucent. The last thing I can do is go back, select red channel maybe, and again go to exposure and the element, click it. Again, maybe this time use hue saturation. As you can see, this downwards little arrow, it means our adjustment is already bound to the reflection path. And now I can maybe shift the hue and change the color of our car paint without touching anything else. The little issue here is, as you can see, I seem to be touching both layers of the car paint by adjusting this reflection path. It's because it's a little bit more problematic when separating layers of the car paint, because the bottom layer is basically just really low rough reflection, but it's still reflection. It's not, and there's not any amount of diffuse, and the top layer is reflection as well. So both of these layers are getting saved out in our reflection path. So yeah, this is it for the Photoshop. This is how you can compose render elements in the Photoshop, and the basic adjustments you can do with them. And once you do these basic adjustments, then you can maybe change the image depth to something like 16-bit, but you will have to select merge and exposure and gamma, so it collapses them properly. If you don't merge them, everything will break apart, because they always need to be composed in 32-bit color space, as I said. So this is it for the Photoshop, and in the last part I'm going to show you how to compose the same elements in Fusion. So see you then.